Alright guys, and welcome back. So in the previous episode I did paint the tailgate, but the top bit reacted a little bit, so I haven't actually finished the top piece. So I'm going to blow this in quickly. I've also got a spoiler to fit. This is a factory type spoiler, it's a reproduction. It's going to go over there, just a little lip spoiler. So I'm going to paint the spoiler to start off with. So the spoiler came made out of fiberglass with a gel coating. Now it's in pretty good condition, it is brand new, but there is a few imperfections. So the first thing I did was fill the imperfections and then give the spoiler a couple of coats of high build primer. Once that had gone off, I then wet sanded it, made it nice and smooth with 1200 grit paper, and I also wet sanded the tailgate where I repaired it in the past. Right, now that's all done, I need to mask up the car and mix the paint. So as you can see, it's all masked up now. It's a little bit crude, but it should do the job. I've wet the floor. Next job, I'm going to start panel wiping everything down. As you can see, I've just made a crude little mock-up just to hold this together. So basically, the bit of the spoiler you can't see, I've just screwed a little bracket to it, bit of wood with some tape around it. It just holds it so I can paint it nicely. Yeah, it's flopping around a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. Right, next job, I'm going to mix the paint on a mixing bench. So this is a 1K paint. It's base coat basically. You add 50% thinners. Bob's your uncle. Don't need a lot. What do you reckon? 100 ml. And I'm using 2K thinners. So I want to bring that up to 200 ml. Like so. Give it a stir with my paint and stir it. And there we go. Pour it in my gun. I've already cleaned this out. And we're ready to paint. I give everything a tack coat, which basically means I mist a layer of paint on it, leave it a minute or so, and then apply a thicker coat. The first coat will be tacky by this, which means that the second coat will stick much better and you'll get less chance of runs. Once it's had 3 good coats, I move straight on to mixing the lacquer. Now by the time the lacquer's mixed, the base coat's pretty much touch dry because it dries pretty fast. So I give it several coats of lacquer, the first one without thinners, and then I add 20% of thinners after that. This is more than a manufacturer recommends. However, in my opinion, it makes it much easier to get a deep shine. And if I'm honest, I think the camera does all the talking for me here. It clearly works. So it's been 24 hours since I painted this. It's gone off. I've left it under a heater all night, so it's nice and hard now. Next job, I need to fit it to the car. So what I've done, I've put some double-sided tape on the back, just a little bit, just to hold it in place. I'm also going to use some PU adhesive just to bond it on. So the tape's just going to hold it temporary really. Once the adhesive's gone off, it's going to be rock solid. So this is the adhesive I'm using. This is an Everbuild, which is a Toolstation brand. It's quite cheap at £7, I think 98. It's a bit like Tiger Seal, but a bit cheaper. So I tend to use this stuff and it's readily available. I'm going to put copious amounts on the back. Something along the lines of that. I can peel off the back of the double-sided tape and stick it on. I've only got one shot at this, so I best do it right the first time, eh? And finally, I'm just going to put some tape on it, just to make sure it doesn't fall off while it's setting. And there we go, one factory looking spoiler fitted to this Audi S4. And doesn't it look great? And the last job I want to do on this car, to finish the back end off, is I want to paint this lower splitter. It does have a few scratches and marks, so I just want to sort it out basically. So, I'm going to mask it up. I've got some aerosol which is colour matched, and away we go. As I'm only using aerosols, I don't mask the car up fully because you don't tend to get that much overspray with these. Once masked up, I panel wipe the whole area. The prep was done in the previous video, so it's just a case of cleaning it all down and giving it several coats of base coat, followed by 3 coats of matte lacquer to seal it all in. I give it half an hour or so and then I remove the masking tape. Right guys, all done. I think it really sets the back end off and looks so much better. The back end is now all completely finished. I think in a future episode we're going to move on to the front end. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and stay tuned for more. See you later. Bye bye.